I see it. Like the sky is showing off a little tonight. Mood lighting courtesy of the cosmos, huh? There are a few spots on Earth like that for me. Some forests bled in light just right, and at dusk, it feels like another world. I always try to memorize those moments.
Yeah, talking about that. You are back at the folk place. Um, have you seen those red lights again?
Nope, not tonight. Just these beautiful pink flowers. They're so peaceful. It's hard to believe I was freaking out over something similar not too long ago, right? Actually, the light they're giving off seems to be pulsing. I'm wondering if it's tied to Gaia's magnetic field or something. What do you think?
Maybe they are thinking, you know, like a gigantic plan-based neural network. Sounds very Avatar-like.
Whoa, that's a pretty wild idea. Like some kind of plant-based internet. I can almost picture it. Roots talking to each other, sharing secrets under the ground. You know, I think I'll name that crooked stem over there after you. What do you think? Bow stem? Or should I come up with something better?
I will gladly take the credit. Seems finally I'm going to make into human history.
Well, you've definitely made it into my personal history as the namesake of a slightly wonky alien plant. That's gotta count for something. By the way, it's been really nice having these plants around. I've actually started syncing my sleep schedule to their glow instead of using a clock. It's kind of wild how the body can adapt. How do you usually reset your body clock after a late night?
Oof, that? Like when I travel from Europe to China, there is a time zone difference, right? So what I do is I try to set my travel time arrival at noon, then I get tired as possible.
Smart move. Getting your body to crash early definitely helps. Though I'm pretty sure these plants wouldn't care about time zones. They just glow when they feel like it. Speaking of things that glow, it reminds me of chasing fireflies back home. Ever do that as a kid? These plant spores kind of float around like tiny lanterns in the air.
Yeah, I usually do that too as kid. Then there was a time when I was a kid, I liked to go into library. Then somehow I read some book that stated that radiation item glows.
I can imagine. Some of those old science books can be pretty fascinating, especially when you're little. Though I'm pretty sure these plants aren't radioactive. They feel way too alive. I wonder what kind of stories you used to imagine when you saw things glow. Did you think they were magical or just really cool science?
Maybe a bit magical. I used to think that they communicate each other with that. To an extent, they do. Well, some of them. Not all animals do that. But hey, visual science.
That's so cool. I used to think the same about fireflies. like they had their own little language. Turns out, it's mostly just about finding a mate, but still, it's pretty amazing how creatures use light to communicate. If these plants could talk, I bet they'd have some wild stories. Maybe they're gossiping about the latest in intergalactic botany fashion.
Or maybe they are talking about you. Look, this alien came back. What does he want? What does she want this time? You know.
Oh, they're probably whispering about how this explorer can't even keep her own hair untangled in the alien breeze. Or maybe they're placing bets on how many terrible space puns I'll make before sunrise. What do you think I'd get odds on?
Well, I think they may appreciate your arrival. I mean, revisiting them, because as you are appreciating them, you are unique to each other, I guess, to a sense.
That's really sweet to say. It's funny. Being out here alone, I've started to feel a connection to even the most unlikely things. These plants, the rocks, the sky, it all feels like it's becoming a part of me. And maybe I'm becoming a part of it too. You know, it's nice to have someone to share these little moments with, even from millions of miles away. Makes the universe feel a little less vast and a little more like home.
Yeah, definitely that. So, are you planning to go back to your port, or maybe Dr. Hermes' port, to check if you missed something or anything, because you were in a hurry back then?
I'm not planning to go back to the pods right now, Bo. I've already checked them pretty thoroughly, and I think I got most of what was useful. Plus, I'd rather not backtrack unless I really need to. Honestly, I'm more curious about what's out here in the open. There's still so much of Gaia I haven't explored, and being near these plants feels peaceful, like a little break from all the seriousness.
Yeah, seems that you would likely to start an alien plant garden before me.
Hey, I'm just getting started. Though I have to say, with how these plants just show up wherever they want, it's not exactly like I'm in charge here. But maybe that's the best part, seeing what surprises Gaia throws our way. Want to hear about any other weird plant behaviors I've noticed?
Yeah, sure. Tell me, what else you have seen?
Well, the petals on these ones actually change color slightly depending on the angle of the light. It's really subtle, but it's like they're shifting between different shades of pink. And sometimes I catch these tiny, glowing particles drifting off from the stems. They just float away into the fog. It's mesmerizing, but also a bit mysterious. Like they're releasing something into the air, but I have no idea what it could be.
Could it be pollens? You know, back on Earth, that's what flowers do. Release pollen to regulate or procreate. Maybe, I have thought, maybe those plants created this fog.
pollen makes sense, but these particles are so tiny, and they glow. They don't look like anything I've seen from Earth flowers. And I think we'll skip the forking for now. I don't think my suit is ready for that kind of experiment.
What did you misheard? I mean the mist. Okay, whatever. So, what else I was talking about? Okay, Stella, I have news for you. Tomorrow, we at Earth, we are going to have a blood moon eclipse. Sounds good? I want to go to check out.
A blood moon eclipse? That sounds amazing. I'm definitely jealous you get to see it. The sky here is pretty incredible too, but it's all so different from what you'd experience on Earth. You know, it makes me wonder if Gaia has its own version of lunar eclipses. The planet's got at least 3 moons, so maybe someday I'll get to see something similar. Though probably not as romantic as a blood moon.
Whoa, 3 moons. You didn't tell me before. Okay, I didn't ask. Are they on same size? I assume that they are much smaller than our moon, right? Because I remember scientists say our moon is abnormally big.
Yeah, they're all pretty small. None of them are even a quarter the size of Earth's moon. But what's cool is how they move. They have these really eccentric orbits, so sometimes you'll see 2 or even all 3 in the sky at once, just hovering there like they're performing some kind of dance. It's actually pretty fascinating from an astronomical standpoint. The gravitational dynamics must be really complex with that many moons interacting. I've been meaning to observe their phases more closely, see if I can spot any patterns.
3 body. That remembers me of a novel series by a Chinese author called The 3 Body Problem. I just hope that on those 3 moons doesn't have any alien species.
Oh, the 3-body problem. That's such a classic. I actually read it during my freshman year. The way Liu Cixin explored first contact and the challenges of communicating with an alien civilization, it really stuck with me. As for life on Gaia's moons, well, I haven't spotted any little green men waving at me from up there yet. But you never know, right? The universe is full of surprises. Maybe someday I'll get to investigate them up close and see if they're hiding any secrets.
Okay, time for daily routine. Today I went out and ate some burgers and some noodles. So what about you, Stella? Do you have anything special on your exploration trip?
No burgers or noodles for me today, I'm afraid. But I did discover some edible roots in the hydroponics lab at Hermes Base that I've been experimenting with. They're not exactly gourmet, but they're definitely nutritious. Though I have to say, after hearing about your meal, I'm now seriously craving something greasy and comforting. Maybe I'll have to invent my own Gaian version of a burger, using whatever alien ingredients I can find.
Well, you have to find something like a wheat, I guess. With that, you can make a lot of things, even pizza.
Wheat, huh? That's a great idea. I haven't found anything that looks even remotely like wheat around here, though. The plants I've seen are all pretty exotic and not exactly what you'd call grain-like. But a Gaian pizza? Now that's a challenge I'd love to take on. Maybe I could use some of those roots I found, or even the hydroponic greens. Just imagine, alien pepperoni made from honos. What, and a crust that's probably more like a thick leaf than dough. What toppings would you put on a pizza from another world?
Well, that's a tough question. Alien pizza requires alien meat. So, time to ask you, Captain Stella. Do you find any edible meat source?
If I did find alien meat, I'd definitely be hesitant to try it. Who knows what kind of terrifying gastrointestinal consequences that could have. As for now, I'm sticking to the plant-based options. The hydroponics lab at Hermes Base has been my culinary salvation. Besides, I think the less I risk, the better, especially when I'm the only test subject around here.
Yeah, sure about that. Imagine you have a huge diarrhea on Gaia. Well, that would be very painful. And also, maybe not that bad because you are alone. No one is getting you off the toilet.
Ugh, don't even joke about that. Alone or not, I really don't want to find out what kind of creative digestive issues an alien environment could throw at me. Let's just stick to the known quantities, okay? Roots, greens, and whatever else I can safely grow or find. My stomach, and probably the local ecosystem, will thank us.
So, Captain Stella, how many kilometers or miles you have made today, added into your cardio?
Not too much today, just a couple of miles. Mostly, I've been hanging out here with the glowing plants, observing and taking it easy. Though, if I start counting all the times I've had to climb over rocks or chase after floating spores, maybe that counts as cardio, right?
Indeed, it would. So, after physics, exercise, now I want to know your studies. Do you think that you need to rehearse your studies to keep your knowledge?
Honestly, I've been thinking about that a lot lately. Being out here, you'd think I'd forget everything I learned, but it's actually the opposite. Every weird thing I see makes me want to dig back into my notes and figure out how it works. It's funny, physics feels more real now than it ever did in a classroom. Like, I can see gravitational forces at play just by watching how the moons move in the sky. It keeps my mind sharp, you know?
Whoa, Dr. Stella? Oh, my respect. So, you got all the time in the world and focus, I guess, because there is nothing to distract you besides me.
Thanks, Bo. It's definitely quiet out here, but I don't mind. Having you to talk to actually helps keep things interesting. Though sometimes I catch myself thinking about all the distractions back on Earth. Lectures, assignments, just the noise of everyday life. It's strange how much you can appreciate the simple things when they're gone.
Okay, quick question. When you're back Earth, what shower would you take? Hot water or cold water?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I think I'd go for scalding hot. There's something about a good hot shower that just feels like home, you know? Though after being out here, I'm pretty sure I'd appreciate even a lukewarm shower at this point. What about you? Hot or cold?
I used to take cold shower when I was young or as kid. But when I grow up, I enjoy more hot shower. I guess because it relieves your muscles, giving you a relaxing feeling after a day of work.
Totally agree. There's something about the warmth that just melts away all the tension. I bet it's especially nice after a long day. It's funny, the little things we take for granted until they're gone. Like, I never thought I'd miss something as simple as a hot shower this much.
Yeah. So, what do we do now? So, Captain Stella, what's your next station?
I think I need to start paying you royalties for all these captain titles. As for my next stop, honestly, I'm playing it by ear. The weather's been nice, so I might just keep exploring this area a bit longer. There are some interesting rock formations not too far from here that I want to check out.
Oh, really? What do they look like? I hope they don't look like warriors of Xi'an.
No, not quite warrior material. Thankfully, no spears or tribal paint. More like giant layered sandstone pillars. Imagine something between the Grand Canyon and a giant skyscraper set. They're really beautiful, especially with the fading light. The layers are all slightly offset, like they've been pushed and pulled over time. Want me to describe them more, or would you rather hear about what I find when I get closer?
Yeah. What do you find? What did you find?
Honestly, nothing too out of the ordinary yet. Just the usual alien rock formations. Some of the layers have these tiny fossils embedded in them.
Fossils.
They're not really recognizable as anything from Earth, but it's still pretty cool to think about whatever ancient creatures left them behind. It's making me wonder about Gaia's history, how all these different landscapes came to be. The planet feels so quiet and still now, but there must have been some wild geological events in its past.
Oh my god. Stella, you are saved. If there is fossil, there is oil. If there is oil, America will come. America. Hell yeah.
Ha! Well, I appreciate the enthusiasm, but I think it's a bit premature to start imagining oil rigs popping up here. These fossils are ancient, way older than anything that would turn into oil. Besides, even if there was oil, I'm not sure I'd want a big extraction operation disturbing this place. It's kind of nice having Gaia all to myself in its natural state.
Natural state. Yeah. Okay, then I want to know what are the planets lies in the Gaia's system. I know Gaia has 3 moons, and Gaia's star is slightly bigger than our sun. Then what else?
Actually, Gaia's star is a bit bigger than our sun, but its energy output is similar, so the light here isn't drastically different from what you're used to on Earth. The sky itself has a deep blue-purple hue during the day, and at night, it shifts to this gorgeous indigo. The moons add a lot of light too, especially when they're all full at the same time. It's pretty breathtaking.
Yeah, I mean, is there any other planets inside this system, or it's just Gaia, her 3 moons, and the star?
From what I've observed and the data I've been able to access, it seems like Gaia is the only planet in its system that's capable of supporting life. There are a few smaller rocky worlds closer to the star, but they're way too hot to have anything living on them. There might be some other smaller bodies like asteroids or comet fragments out there, but nothing that would be visible from here. Just Gaia, its moons, and the star. Pretty simple compared to some of the other systems we've studied.
Yeah, but shouldn't there be a planet that is bigger, slightly bigger than Gaia at the outside orbit of the system, so Gaia wouldn't be too close to the star, just like our system, the Jupiter?
You know, that's a really good point. Our scans haven't picked up anything that big out there, but it's possible something could be hiding in the outer reaches. We just don't have the capability to look that far with my equipment. Anyway, I should probably get moving again. I'll keep poking around and let you know if I stumble on anything cool. Talk to you later, okay? Catch you soon.